Hey, what's up, my loves? We're doing a live session. Let's see. Yvonne, are you here yet? If so, just say something in the chat. T-Pain Photoshop is a program that costs about $10 a month, $9.99 if you get the photography version. That's all you need to go ahead and get started, and hopefully you can find a buddy that can share the seat if you only need it for one computer, because you get 2 seats per license. So if you have it on your laptop, you can find somebody else to cash out you $5 so that they can put it on their laptop or their PC, and from there you can definitely get some stuff done. $5 a month, I think you can definitely get started, even if it's $10 a month until you find a buddy. And if you go on the Innate Creatives group, you can search for the word buddy, and you should see a listing where people can put have or need. That's all you need to comment, have or need, and then that way you can find you a buddy to partner with. So you may find somebody that already has a seat, and all you have to do is cash out them $5 so you can go ahead and get started. So I'm definitely glad that you're interested, and I want to see what you come up with. Hey, new folks, I see ya. Rona, what's good? Teresa, Marilyn. Hey, we got 2 Teresas. Yes, I use Photoshop for all of my templates. I've just started using Affinity Photo to give people an alternative, but usually I have to charge more for those templates because they take me a little more time. As a matter of fact, the program is less expensive, but it does have some limitations, which causes me to have to kind of redesign some things. And let me just check on our lady of the hour. Yvonne, just chime in whenever you're on the chat. So until then, I'm going to go ahead and get Yvonne's photos together, because why not go ahead and use up this time. All right, so I have quite a few photos. We're going to get started with Remove BG. So as a matter of fact, let's go ahead and pull her up. Oh, y'all see me working on the website. I'm finally getting some images and stuff up there. I appreciate y'all, and for helping me today too. I'm going to do another session sometime tomorrow, so y'all make sure that you chime in, because I've been doing these $15 off of a $20 template coupons to see if I can get my coupons to link right with PayPal. So right now, about 75% of the time it's going through, and then about 25% of the time it's not. So either way it goes, even if PayPal does charge the full thing, I usually give you just a little bit more than what I would give for the discount. So I gave $16 back today if it charged you $20. So anyways, it's helping me troubleshoot. I appreciate it. I don't think you all understand how much this really helps me. All right, so we're on Remove BG. Let's go ahead and log in, and I will be able to download the high resolution images. Appreciate that, Rona. I'm trying. I'm working on it, baby. I gotta stop saying I'm trying. My daddy used to get on me about that. He said there's no such thing as try. Either you do or you don't. So I'm doing it at my own rate, but I'm doing it. All right, let's go ahead and oh, I thought that was my messenger there. Let's go ahead and pull these images in. Now I'm just going to drag these photos right from the folder. So here's photo. Well, first I got to hit remove background, and then I'm going to drag the photos right from my folder onto this program, or onto this website. All right, I'm good with this one. This one looks great. Let's download it. It's 1. We'll pull in 2. And looks like that one cut beautifully. Look at that. And there's a difference when you have higher quality photos. You usually can expect better results. So I think I like doing this in front of you all, so then you understand what the limitations of some of the tools that we have, and you know, kind of some workarounds if something didn't happen as expected. But all of these are doing well so far. So the last session we ended up doing a little bit of photo restoration, so that was cool. All right, and I'm just going to keep dropping them until I have them all. And I think we have three more photos. And this is a time saver. Like I said, here, it needs to be cleaned up a little bit, but I guarantee you we probably won't even be using the photo down to that area. So sometimes before you go, you know, getting disappointed or wanting to fix it up, just see what your layout's going to look like, and from there you'll be able to see what you may need to fix. All right, good deal. And I have two of these. Let's see how these do, because these were the ones that concerned me. It looked a little low resolution. Well, that works. And one more. Okay, so we have two. This is the same school, two different kids, with one being valedictorian, the other being football as the main priority and focus of the design. So we're going to choose two different templates and play this one out and make sure that everything was I downloading these? I sure wasn't. I cannot do two things at once. This one won't allow me to do the full size image because it's a smaller image, but it cut just fine. So we're going to go with that one. And sometimes check and see if it's not that much of a difference between the full image and the preview image. It'll usually tell you that the image is too small because they don't feel right charging you for a credit for something that you pretty much would have got the free preview rate for. So yeah, this has been, and I'm finally using up my credits because I had this for the longest time and I wasn't using it, and then y'all came along and oh my goodness, we started using this thing. And I think I had like 150 credits, and through all the tutorials and stuff, I'm down to like 91 now. So I appreciate you all because y'all have been helping me use my resources. Believe it or not, teaching you all is helping sharpen my skills. All right, and let's see. We don't remove BG, I believe. And we'll leave that up just in case we need a browser. And let me check on y'all live. Okay, I don't see Yvonne logging in yet. Yvonne, if you're here, can you say something in the chat for me? Oh, you know what? Maybe I have to put it on live chat. I don't know why it defaults to top chat. I just want to make sure that I'm seeing a message if it's coming through. Okay, well, what I'm going to do is go ahead and get started on picking a template and designing. That way when she comes in, she can yay or nay or tell me any suggestions for changes. But this is one that she designed. So I wish Yvonne was here right now so I can give her kudos. She used one of the templates and did this. Oh, okay, I thought I saw the message coming through. But yeah, she used one of the templates and she did this one. So I think she did an excellent job. Now the goal with this design is to make it an all over. And technically that's a good lesson for you all too. So I'm going to show you, if you had the blank template, which you can get online. If you go to innatelab.com and type in free, you'll see the free up to adult 3X template. And then you'll also see the youth templates as well. So let me pull up my free template. And that way I can show you precisely what you get. Now, this is like merged text, but it's just to show you like placement and an idea of how you can make this work. You can literally delete all that stuff if you want to. It's just suggestions. But you get a free background image in there. I put a little gradient in there for y'all to play with. And then a solid color for you to play with as well. So it's not just the outline, it's really meant for you to start learning what you need to be doing with your layers. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to close this out. I'm going to go to the folder where I downloaded that image. It's a JPEG, it's not even a Photoshop file. And I'm going to drag that JPEG onto my all over. And look, she designed it just perfect where it fits all over. Well, it fits within this box here. So that's perfect because I don't have to worry about whether my text is going to be hanging out of the way. Looks amazing. Now the issue here is that in order to turn this into an all over design from the 13 by 19 style, you have to be a little bit creative. So we're going to play with some of those creative concepts right now. Let's see, first thing I'm going to do is change the color of the background. I'll just double click on that color there and I'm going to choose about the background color that she already has on that paper. Yeah, that way it kind of lets me know that we're getting somewhere. Okay, so I used the color picker and all I had to do was just scroll into this area and it picked up that color. Let me go ahead and turn my helper on so y'all can see what I'm clicking on and typing. So that worked out well. Now, you know I have issues with hard lines, so we're definitely going to figure something out for that. But let's figure out a creative way to kind of blend this darker blue color into here. And you all love these paint splashes. And if you like it, I love it. And we're going to make it work. I'll throw a gradient on there. Why not? For this gradient, let's not make that pink. Let's make that white. And this fades from white to, looks like this old gold color, but it looks a little bit orange. So we're going to click on that orange and use the color picker to pick that golden yellow color. Zoom out a little bit. That looks better already. And if I want more of the color, oh, you know what? That messed me up because now I'm not getting my consistent color there. So let me do this then. I'm going to turn that one off for a moment. And we'll play with the color splashes if we want to play with, add some color down there. And I'll show you how to do that. So I'm going to grab my paintbrush. I'm going to grab me one of these splashes. And these brushes are available on innatelab.com as well. Yeah, so right now I'm just, and you know what? I usually put my splashes in black so I can see where they are. And then what I can do, if I put it somewhere in the space, it becomes like a stamp. So don't let it cut off of the page because once it's a stamp, I can move it around. Control T, I can turn it, make it bigger or smaller. And what I'll do is I'll do a new layer for each splash. And I'll tell you why in just a moment. So let me pick a different one this time. Pick that one. New layer. We'll probably end up picking maybe like 5 or 6 splashes. And Let's do new layer. So right now I have 3. I'm gonna pick 2 more. Let me get a little variation. I want some that is very splashy. There we go. So that I have a little bit of variation here. And let's go for that one. That one's a little, there we go. This one works. So all of these are on different layers, so I can move them independently. Now what I'm going to do is change the colors. So I will take these, I held down shift and selected this entire section so I can move them up and see what they're doing, what they look like. And then I will move my paint colors around, or paint splashes around, and then I'm going to go ahead and recolor them. So let's say that, go to our effects, color overlay, and let's choose our, get in a little bit closer. Let's choose our golden color there. And another thing that I like to do is create color swatches. So let's do that right now. 1, let's go ahead and do a color overlay, because if we do it as a color overlay, we can always copy and paste this layer style. That yellow is still there. We'll say OK. And then in order to see these swatches, you have to bring them above the background here. Or you know what we'll do? We'll pull it down here. We'll just make it to where it's visible on the side of the shirt. 1, let's do 2, and 3. So we'll grab the blue color as well. Zoom in a little bit. Rectangle 1 copy is what I want. Let's double click on the color overlay, and then we'll change this color to, let's change it to the blue background there, because I know I'm going to need that darker blue, and then maybe the other color will be the more royal blue. Double click on the color overlay. Let's grab that royal. And then what I'm thinking is even this royal in the background here will probably end up modifying that. So if I click on this blue, instead of clicking on contiguous, so contiguous is going to catch whatever is touching, right? So if I turn off contiguous, and then I'm going to do Control D to deselect, and I select that color again, it looked in throughout the entire image to see where that color was. And in this case, what's that down there? It looks like it'll do a decent job of taking away some of this blue if I wanted to, because I'm a little concerned that this blue isn't what we want it to be for printing. So I may do some adjustment there. But in this case, all I'm going to do is select the inverse, selecting everything but that blue now when I did the inverse. And I'm taking my magic wand, and I'll make sure that I alt select this outside here so that I get a pretty decent little mask here. And let's go to select and mask and see what this looks like if we mask it away from the existing background. And I think that looks fine. Now what I'll do, I'll turn off this blue background so you can see exactly what I'm doing here. This is the blue that was already in the JPEG. Let's add a layer mask, and it kind of cleaned that up a little bit. So I'm not dealing with that blue. So now if I want this blue to match my previous color there. I can do my adjusting from here. And when I choose blues, some people have trouble with blues looking purple. So I try to pull my color down into this area where it gets closer to the green rather than the purple. Because if you're closer to that purple, guaranteed you will have some issues. Another thing you can do is you can check your cyan and magenta here. And let's say I want to steer more clear of magenta. I can choose 100% for my cyan and just make sure that I bring that magenta down definitely below 80. If it's above 80, it could possibly give you that purple hue. So let's see what 70 looks like. I'm okay with 70. I'm definitely a little more confident with that. And it still looks better than our previous color, which was a little dulled out, but a duller blue will come out more blue than purple. Well, I won't say duller, I guess a less vibrant, less saturated. That's what it is. All right, let's see here. Yvonne, hey love, hey. I've been talking about you. I've been bragging on you. I hope you got a chance to hear me bragging on you about your design you did. Okay, so now what we're doing is we're fitting that JPEG into this kind of all over look. And let me know, because I don't think you were here when I was discussing it with myself, but doing the paint splashes, I know you already have like a paint splash in the background, or a vector, not a vector, I'm sorry, a bitmap mask back there. So I didn't know if this would be appropriate or not, so I want to make sure before I go into it that we're gonna, be okay doing it like this. Yes, Teresa, she did do a great job. So now that I have these color swatches here, guess what I can do? I can use them just like an artist uses their palette, and then you just pick from them. So what I'm going to do right now is I want to pick this, and matter of fact, I'm going to change this royal blue to what we just picked. Then that way I have that little bit duller but much safer blue. Okay, so let's go on to changing some of these splashes and see what we get. Since the background color is already the royal blue, I'm going to focus on the darker blue and the gold accents. So let me copy the darker blue. We'll go to the rectangle, we'll copy the layer style, and then we shall paste it on one of these paint splashes. So now I have that darker blue kind of coming into play. And you can make these rather large to have a lower impact. And then you can even copy and paste that and maybe continue it towards the bottom here. And no one will ever know that was the same paint splash. All right, so for this one, let's copy the layer style for the gold. And we'll paste it here on the layer 2 paint splash. And then we'll make sure that we put it to the bottom so that we can have a little bit of overlap in here. Same thing here. I'm going to kind of keep it like a top and bottom thing until I get what I like. Now what we can do here is where the graduates are, we can fade that off, or we can play around with some of the paint splashes. Grab one of our opaque paint splashes like this one, and we'll come over where the graduates are. Pull that paint splash down just a little bit. So now we'll blend that in to make it look like it's part of the design. And this one is a little too splashy. I like that better as more of a background splash. So I'm going to take this splash here, Alt, click and drag. That way it's going to give me a copy. Control T to transform it. And just to make it look a little bit different, I'm going to rotate it. Okay, so I'm also going to copy the layer style from this rectangle and paste it. I'm right clicking, getting my layer 3 copy. I'm going to hold down shift so I can get both of these at once. And then I can paste the layer style to both of them at one time. So now that blue looks like, yeah, just didn't chop off with the graduates there. All right, and let's see. Let's play with this background a little bit. I told you this one I liked best for the background. So let's kind of figure out how we're going to use it, which colors. And we can even throw white in here now. So let's see how that looks. I'm going to take this one here. And let's do, I didn't need a color swatch for white, but you can put a swatch there just so that you remember it's one of your palette colors. And remember, this is all on top of the image right now. So we'll also play with the opacity and the layers, like whether I want it to be towards the back, which in this case, these white ones will definitely, hold down shift, grab both of those. These will definitely go towards the back, behind the image. And we probably could play with that yellow just a little bit more. Let's see. I like this kind of stringy one here a little bit. So let's copy that. And then this time, instead of letting it be blue, we'll copy the layer style from the gold rectangle. Copy the layer style. And we'll paste it. Uh-oh, did I copy the right layer style? Paste layer style? Oh, duh. I pasted the layer style instead of copying it. All right, so the yellow was supposed to stay yellow. That was a test in case y'all didn't know. Let's copy the layer style for the yellow. Then we'll go to paint splash here and paste layer style. And there's our yellow. And of course, we'll drag it below the image because anyone that we have really big, we want to make sure that we are not detrimentally affecting the image here. So now we get a chance to play with opacities. Do we like it? Do we not like it? Do we want a white background instead of, well, I will tell you this, if I change it right now to, let's say a white background instead, just double click, duplicate, well not double click, right click will duplicate this layer. Let me show you what it looks like. Different color backgrounds. That's black. We can even choose one of our colors here. That's the darker blue. We can choose the gold as the background color. White. Actually, white looks really pretty. Then the blue was the safest because that's the color that we had around the JPEG. So that's why I chose the royal there. Yvonne, you let me know what you think. And let me know if I'm saying, is it Yvonne or Yvonne? Let me know so I can make sure I'm saying your name correctly. And there's a little bit of delay, guys. So when y'all hear me getting quiet, it means I'm trying to pay attention and see if I get a response. Okay, well, now is this something that your customer needs to proof or that you'll be proofing? And you know what? Here's the thing. And let me know, Yvonne, or, you know, because my name is Shannon. I've had people call me Sharon, Shanon, Shannon, you know. So I want to make sure I get you right. So you're getting the Vaughn. There you go. Hey, that works. All right, Vaughn. So in this case, you'll have the Photoshop version of the file. So if they say, I don't know if I like that blue background, you can do exactly what I'm doing here right now, which is I'm on that layer and I'm just changing it. Even like a gray or something might even look good. So that'll definitely be something to play with. I'll leave it as with the blue for right now because like I said, that's the one that went best with that JPEG. And then if we want to, we can come in here and let's say we want to bring down the opacity here. Well, not of the white because the white makes it look clean. And as a matter of fact, I think all of these colors look good in their pure form because we're printing on blue. If we change these colors, then now you'll have yellow kind of applying on top of the blue, and you probably don't want that. Now, one thing I do see here, I'm going to turn off the guides here so I can see this image a little bit better. I want to get rid of this hard line here from the JPEG. So I'll click on the layer mask. Let's grab our brush, and this time we're going to just get a soft brush. Right click, let me get that size down just a little bit. Too small, too small. There we go, right about there. Now I'm trying not to lose my details in the word Senior Strong. So let's zoom in a little bit, Control plus. Let's get in there, and I'll make the brush a little bit smaller. And I'm just sweeping it left to right a little bit just to kind of knock down some of that hard edge that's there. And this blue right here needs to go underneath. So we'll take that layer and drag it underneath the photo. Same thing. Matter of fact, all of these paint layers probably could have gone underneath the photo. I did want these two to stay on top, but it's not necessary. These two were the ones that's kind of covering up those hard edges right there. And just in case the color is a little bit off, I wanted it on top so you won't be able to tell if there was any blunt lines there. And see, I have one right there. I think that is in the image though. But it's barely noticeable. I see a little bit of a hard line here. So I'll go back to my image, go to the layer mask, grab that paintbrush, and I'm painting with black because black is going to conceal and white is going to reveal. And I'm just fading it off a little bit. It takes a little bit of the image away, but not nearly as bad as just seeing like a random rectangle. All right. I could go a little bit further with this darker blue if I wanted to. Let's take this one. Well, we'll just bring this one below. Bring the yellow to the bottom. And I'm just trying to see balance-wise, do I want more of the darker blue towards the bottom to kind of weight this down a little bit since I weighted it on the sides? Let's grab this one and do a variation of it above everything else. We'll copy the layer style from this dark blue one and we'll paste the layer style there. Then that way it looks like it gives it something to kind of anchor it down to the bottom. And we can even transform this and move it around a little bit. That way it looks like we have a little purpose to that activity. All right, Vaughn, do you have any input or suggestions so far on this one? So what we did was we took your 13 by 19 and made it into an all over design with some brushes and some color there. And remember to turn off these rectangles before you print. So I'm going to take them off just so we don't mistakenly leave that on there. All right, and while I'm waiting on that response to see if this one is good to go or if we need to change anything, I'm gonna, oh, all right. Oh man, looking good. All right, perfect. So I'll make sure, which I should have been doing the whole time, y'all make sure you save, save, save. I'll save this one. Client files. And I'll just save this one as Vaughn. And I'll send this right over to you once we finish our session today, Vaughn. Okay, so we got one done, and that's really your art, just to let you know. That was your work. So I'm proud of you. I think you did an excellent job. And now we will get into doing the next step, which is using a whole nother template. Now, technically, we can use the same background and pull our other images in and kind of go with that. But Vaughn, because you did yours, you're purchasing the PSD templates. I'm going to go ahead and do them as separate templates, different ones, so then that way you can add to your collection. And let's see. So I was thinking the one for our Morehouse man, I have an idea for that. I'm going to pull up the template for it and see what you think about it. So I have a split design that I don't get to use often. It looks a little something like this one and this one. And the reason why it reminded me, because it's very rare to see like a red and blue if it's not like the team colors already. So I think the school colors are blue and then Morehouse is red. So that contrast, it looks really interesting, juxtaposed, against one another. So let me know what you think. If you think this template will work well, we can do it as the all over. And then of course, I think I have something in there that makes it masked down to a 13 by 19. All right, you see these files are huge now. They're huge. So I'm going to go ahead and once I get this one open, I should have turned off the other one. Especially since I'm doing all this recording and stuff right now. So Vaughn, let me know what you think about this one. If we can roll with this one for the Morehouse. Okay, so we're going with this, oh, okay, yeah, so it was gold and maroon, and then Morehouse is red and white, right? But I think what it was, I have like equal photos, let's see, I have equal photos of Morehouse. Oh, I know what it was, he likes blue because he wears blue often. That's what it is. Okay, so now I can change those colors as well, like of the suit and stuff. Okay, so we're gonna do, let me know if I'm picking the wrong photo. So the football photo is not the same gentleman, right? Oh, I can bring your image. Oh, this is also Vaughn's image. Let me show off again for you, Vaughn. Let me go ahead and show him what you're working with here. Oh, I put it in the wrong layer. Let me escape here, just in case, and I'll pull this to the top layer. Now this one is our valedictorian, and I don't think I have this photo of him with the senior portrait with the tie. So if you have that senior portrait with the tie, you want to email that to me, I can pull that in. So this isn't really a split because Morehouse is going to be very similar colors. So we can go with, let's see. I like to use things that that you don't expect. So let's go with this one and see. I'll use these colors as reference. So I'm going to pull this image over to the side a little bit. And are these the words that you want on here? Or does it, do you have like anything specific? I'm going to pull it to where I can see enough of those colors. And also, what's the name of the school? I'll look up the logo for the school. And maybe that'll be a part of the learning process too, finding all these logos and stuff. So whenever you let me know what the name of the school is, oh, you know what? Duh, it was on that image you made. Yep. Let me see here. C.E. Murray High School. Oh, that is the same. So that was the logo that we used for another template. Which one was that? The graduation template? So I have that logo already, and I pretty much already vectored it and cleaned it up. Oh, let's find it. That one was, I think, the Grunge graduation template. And that you use that template too. Yep. So this one I'm looking for all over Grunge graduation. That's why my file names are so long, because I literally have to name it so many things. So if I type in one word, I can potentially find it. But feel free to change the name of a file if you have to. Let's see, Grunge graduation. Oh, it's still searching. So yeah, we're definitely going to use a different template. That way you can add, we'll add 3 more templates to your collection today. Alright, so all I really need from this file is this logo. I just didn't want to vector it again. I was being a little lazy. Let's grab that logo, throw it in here, and I might grab the graduate. And this is also showing you how you can mix and match your templates. Let's take the logo watermark. We'll take the graduates, I was about to call them. So we'll take the graduates and we'll bring that in too. So now we have turned this from a sports template into a graduation template. That easy. I'm going to go ahead and log out this one. No, I'm not going to save it. All right, so we have our logo. We have photos we need to bring in here next. So I'll go ahead, bring some of my assets down so I'm not looking straight at them first. Bring them below logos. And then we'll turn off these watermark logos. We may watermark a logo or we may not. So I'm just going to move my assets aside just so I can really see what's going on. And then the name, I usually copy and paste the name from email, so I can close out of that. And I believe that one of the latest messages, we got a lot of messages. And thank you for being patient with me, Vaughn. You are a sweetheart. All right, let's see. So I have first name, I'm gonna have to type in the last name. So y'all pray for me. When my design brain is working, my spelling brain doesn't work. So let's do, I'm gonna take this for the city, Control T, and just make that smaller. That way when I copy and paste my text, I can get an idea of what it looks like. Now, Carrie may want, you know, a different type of font, maybe more formal font since this is graduation. So we'll be able to change that as well. But let me make sure I spell it. Singletary. And see, how did I do an extra N? Okay, and this font is hard enough to see when you're spelling something right. Okay, so let's go ahead and change the colors here. We have and before I do anything else, I'm going to save as. This is Vaughn's as well. Let's go ahead and switch up these colors. So right now it's fading from the blue to the red, and we're going to keep the red because the red goes for Morehouse and the maroon goes for the high school. So let me just grab yellow there. And right now it has black in between it. But because these colors are both warm colors, I feel confident I can delete that black out the middle and I can just let one fade to the other. Now, the reason why I had it like that before, because when red faded into blue, it gave me a little purple and I didn't like it. So I put black or white in the middle and it usually cancels out that kind of muddying of the colors. And I'm just going to leave it like that for right now. I'm going to copy the layer style from that group and paste the layer style just on that text because I'm going to turn this text group off for a minute. Let's go to that stroke, and since we're not quite doing the half and half, I'll see about changing this to 90 degrees so we kind of go top to bottom. And we'll see how we're going to like that in just a minute. Let's go ahead and turn on our guide so we know what's text safe. And then somewhere we're going to want to put class of. So I'm going to alt click and drag. And then let's do another one. We do 2020. And of course, this font doesn't have numbers, so this is a free font. I'm looking for a nice, clean legible font that's not too powerful, because I think we want to focus more on the name. And I get sometimes I get a little athletic font tapped out. Let's go with this one for now, and then we'll see if we're going to stick with it. So we got class of 2020 somewhere, name, and I think that's it. We're not going to put the name of the school because we have the logo, and I think that's it. I can go ahead and turn off our source image, and let's get to designing this background. I'll duplicate a layer or something so that you'll have the original image to go back to in the template. But let's do this. For Carrie Singletary, we did a gradient from one color to the next. So let's go ahead. I'm going to add another color to the end down here. And I'm going to choose more of a maroon color. That way we kind of cover all of our bases there. And then what I can do with the gradient, which that's not what I intended to do, I can hit New, and it's going to save it as a swatch down here. So any other time I want to use a gradient, for instance for the background, I can double click, go to the gradient, scroll down to the bottom, and select the gradient that I already have. Now I want you to see here, you can play with the direction of the gradient. I think I like it like that. So it gives the red more emphasis and the yellow a little less emphasis, especially being that it's faded from white. And let's go ahead and get rid of our photos. Let's turn those off. And then we'll also turn off the logos here. And for the logo, I think I'm going to keep one in the background, and then I'm going to do one normal color to the foreground. It has a little bit of transparency there. I think it was like somewhere on 88. So now it's starting to come together a little bit. I see my little graduates in the background. Let's grab some photos. And let me know if I end up bringing in a wrong photo. Oops. We want the PNGs we worked so hard to get. And whenever you drag your images in from a folder, it keeps it as a smart object. So that's another reason why I kind of ask you to practice doing that. And now that I see the maroon, I might want a little more maroon. And I can just hold down Control, select all the images that I want to pull in, and drag those in. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we have some images showing accolades. We definitely want the focus to be on the graduate and the Morehouse image. So let's grab the Morehouse image and go ahead and make it larger right off the bat. And this isn't where we're going to keep the images. I'm just playing with the scale right now, seeing what we have to build on. And then I have the more the formal wear outfits. Looking nice. So let's focus on these two images here. So the high school and the Morehouse as our main images, and then everything else we'll kind of have as supporting images. And then you can let me know if it's something that we may need to give a little more emphasis to. So I'll bring those to the foreground. I'm going to take my supporting images. I'm going to put them in a group and just bring down the opacity a little bit. Oh no, I'm not, because I forget we got a busy background, so we can't do that. Let's do layer, new adjustment layer. And I'm going to make them black and white. And I can right click and create a clipping mask so that only occurs to the photos and not everything else. All right, so then that way we compete a lot less with so many photos. Usually I try to stay true to like 1 or 2 photos being the main photos, but every now and then I do collage photos. It's just you can lose the point. And I think with this photo, we're going to end up taking a little bit of it off. Of course, that's why I wasn't going to worry about the legs here. I know the Morehouse is a really big deal, so I want to make sure that that is noted and it doesn't get cut off. So I'm trying to save that M on the sweater there. And without selecting the group, let me select these individual images and we'll see what they look like in the background before we start fading them off or doing anything else. And let me go ahead and chime back in with Yvonne just to see if you have any Okay, so wait, Vaughn, this is or is not the football player? Or oh, you know what? This is not God. This is the football player with the cap on. Is that what you're telling me? I think that's what you're telling me. I'm just gonna turn it off without deleting it. So it's just this one is the main one. And let me know if I'm wrong. Okay, I thought so. Okay, so we don't have to worry about the family image then. That goes on the football player, and then the one with the cap too. Yeah, because I couldn't tell the football player one because he has a helmet on. Okay, so now we're down to our nitty gritty. So this works too because he has on the khakis there, and it kind of goes with the yellow. I think that works really well. So let's grab the photos, pull that one down to our photo level. And then we'll do the same thing with the background images, the ones that we did black and white. Let's grab those. And then that's also an easy way to, like, if the colors are clashing, like he has on blue in those images, just turn them black and white. You'll be surprised at like how nice something looks when you turn it black and white. And then what I'll do is go ahead and now I will do a layer mask for each of those photos. Grab the paintbrush and let's brush. This one's going to be one on the right. We're just going to brush the bottom a little bit just to fade it off. Same thing with this one, new layer, or not new layer, a new layer mask. And then we're going to just brush that off a little bit. And of course our pixels are still there if we got a little carried away. So now this logo, of course, is going to go beneath our image. And then we have our foreground logo. So that'll represent the school, the current school. But I also still want to see my graduate silhouette. Let's bring this below the text, but in front of the photo. So this one is the wrong name too, huh? Let me see. So Carrie. Okay, so Carrie's a valedictorian Trails football player. Let me know if I at least got the name right. All right, and then I'm gonna take the, I'll call this grad silhouette. And I'm gonna move this around to see what kind of impact we can get. Because I want to be able to recognize that we're even using it. I like it lower. I just want to make sure on your smaller shirts, you're going to see it. Bring it in a little bit. And I'm going to fade black. So I'm going to grab the gradient tool and use foreground color to transparent. And I'm just going to drag a little bit of black on top of this layer and use the same blend mode as the other one. So soft light. Let's go with soft light. There's something else going on here. Is it this one? Nope. I have a gradient going on somewhere. Oh, that's why I had it on soft light. Let's bring that back. Soft light. I'm going to convert this to a smart object so I can bring a little more black down there to the bottom of this. Right click, convert to smart object. And then that way when I double click, that's what it was. It already had a gradient on there. So I did that on purpose the first time I did it. So let's do image, canvas size. I'm going to make this crop up to the top and increase the height here. Let's give it 30, let's say 36. That way I have something to kind of fill in down here. And I'm going to take my gradient, start with my inside meat, and hold down shift while I pull so it'll stay straight. And now, when I tell it to save this, now I get my fuller color. There we go. And then let's do 2020 going down here. Let me show you how to change. If you already have it as horizontal text, you can double click on the T and we can convert it right up here on the menu bar. Let's do toggle text and it will make it have the vertical orientation instead. And like I said, this font may be a little too informal. So if you want to go with more of a script font or something less like hand lettered, then we can do that as well. I'm just adding a little bit of black in there to make it pop a little bit more. And let me know if you like that style. And then also, as promised, we're going to go ahead and fade off this main image. So we'll do a layer mask. Now this time, instead of doing it with the brush, I'm going to show you how to do it with the gradient tool. It's really important that the gradient tool has the foreground color to transparent. So you should see that checkerboard there. And then you want to make sure black is in your foreground, pure black. We're going to start from inside meat, shift to keep it straight and pull it up. And then it fades off that bottom part of the image uniformly. All right, Vaughn, you got any feedback for me? Is this one good to go, or you want to see any changes? Oh, say it looks good. I'm sorry, I'm just getting a little ahead of myself playing. Oh my God, I like that. All right. So this is number 2. So we're good on this one. Now here's the tip too. If you don't have these fonts on, make sure that you are, when you open up the file, it'll tell you what the name of the fonts are that you're missing. But like for instance, this is called Gangbang Crime. And if I didn't have it, if I didn't have a font on my computer, it would give me a caution symbol. So all I would do is get onto my Google Edge and do Gang Bang Crime font. And there it is. I'll grab it, download it, and as soon as you download it, you can double click on it and install it. Okay, so basically when I give you these templates, or when you purchase these templates, I'm giving you new font ideas to work on your typography, because that's one of the hardest things in the world. I've spent more time picking out fonts than I have designing something at most points of my design time. So when I give you a template that has text in it, go ahead and take my word for it that that's a font you will use later, and it will help you to make it look good. Because I'm seeing a lot of times too, when you bring in a template, if you don't have the fonts, you'll just, kind of go with one of the generic fonts that's already on your computer. But it's not hard to find a font and download it. I promise you that. The only fonts that I have for sale that I use, paid fonts, are the ones that I sell. So they'll be like the Fire Flame font that you had on the other one, the Proudest Family, the Naughty by Nature looking one, Living Single one, etc. Those are ones that I sell. So of course, when I put them in a template, I'm doing it to show off the font, basically. So other than that, if you look it up and it has a free font, then go for it. All right. So I like this. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the guides so you can see what it looks like without the guides. And of course, your shirts are all going to be extra large and under. So I want you to pay attention to when we design. We're keeping it to where even the small shirt, you'll see everything. But your shirt is basically going to go, I think you had a small and then maybe some extra larges. So you get to see what that's going to kind of cover. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and save this one. And now we have our football player. Let's see, before I save this, I want to see, do you like the lines in it or no lines? Oh, we can kind of do a little bit of a compromise and just pull that opacity down a little bit, or that fill. So I kind of want to see a little more of the color. So yeah, I like that. Thank you, Mr. Get Hooked. He says, is that supposed to say that's drip? Tell me if I'm saying my slang wrong. Or, yeah, okay, good. So Vaughn says looks good. Got you. All right, and we already saved. We're gonna save again just to make certain. Ah, it means that's dope. Okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah, me too. I think pulling the opacity down a little bit made the colors pop more. And if you're gonna do all over, you might as well see that color popping. All right. So I have this one saved, and we have one more challenge for tonight. So we got 3 in a row. Y'all ready to stay tuned? Or so you need a bathroom break or anything like that? Because otherwise, we're going to go ahead and get into it. So I have 1, 2. What's happening is it's cutting off the top of my picture, so I can't really see any faces while I'm pulling them in. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I have 4 of football players. So let's see what template we can use for this one. And we get some help from the other creatives. The solo looking one is popular for the kids. Oh, he's into football. I bet he likes George. Oh, you know what? Oh, this is a perfect opportunity to use my template I haven't put out yet. And I don't think I'm gonna put this one out. Here's my problem. I don't think I can put out my characters because people are stealing them. So, I'll do the template, but I probably won't include my characters in them. And I know I hate that, you know, some bad apples ruin it for everybody else, but it's just I don't have the time to be or the resources to have an attorney to be telling everybody that they can't take my drawings. So you probably see them on PNGs, but as far as including them in the templates, I won't do that. All right, so let's switch this one up. Let's do it. Let's see if I think I have a sunset colorway. Yeah, so the sunset colorway is almost gets us there, so we can see the warm colors. And let's go ahead. Let's pull our images into this one. And of course, we won't put that he's savage. Or classy, bougie, ratchet. We won't do that part. But that's what I want you to understand. Just because you see something as it is, we have to have the design insight to see where it can go. So if you see a remembrance template and you like the, you know, the nature scene, or you like the colors and the fonts and the treatments to the font, so these are treatments or effects that we're doing to them, then look at it and say, hey, I can make that a graduation file. So a lot of times I do that. I'll do a graduation and a remembrance template just to let you know it can be one of the most celebrated moments, and that template can also be used for one of the most like commemorative moments in life, or, you know, even death. So I try to get you to expand that mind. So that's what we're going to do today. We'll go from savage to senior. All right, so let me stop talking. Let's get to work. Let's go ahead and go back to our images here. And let me know if I'm pulling in anything incorrectly. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now I'm going to figure out kind of placement before I even think about words or anything. Now this image that has a south and the 14, that's, maybe it's just the color's a little blown out, because that jersey color looks totally different. Let me know if I'm wrong. You know, if I'm wrong, I will correct myself. Is that the same team? So I'm thinking mom's going to definitely want her recognition. Let's put mom top here, football image above that, kind of the main focal, but the grad photo will be the center of attention. Let's see. And this one I can show you what I was talking about. Like sometimes I collage images, and sometimes I black and white or reduce the opacity of the images in the background, something to just give it a little bit of distinction on what everybody's attention should be on. And I'm thinking this one and this one. I want to see the football. So maybe this side for the football, this side for the graduate. And this is just my process of playing with stuff. Y'all, this is not scientific. Please don't think I'm over here with a formula for how I lay stuff out. That's why I charge more for more pictures. So usually I charge for $5 more for every photo that's over one. So when I do my design fees, I usually will do one photo and then each additional photo is $5. Do that for your clients too. It will discourage them from giving you extra photos. Especially, you know, you have to work those extra photos and work extra hard to make sure that they look right and flow correctly. And once I get my layout like I want it, then I can go in and, you know, fade off the bottom of my images, that sort of thing. Now this side of the image is cut off, so I'm going to place it below the image that it was right next to. That way you can't tell it's cut off. All right, so let's go ahead and let's get rid of the, oops, we'll get rid of the lips in the background. And let's get rid of, we're going to change our paint splatter colors. Something else I need to lose. Let's do the foreground lips. We need to get rid of. So we just hit them. So you have them there for anything else. And then of course our Meg. I forgot to save as. Boy, I'll be trying to set myself up. Save as and Vaughn. I'm going to go ahead and delete my Meg out there before I forget. Even though, Vaughn, I trust you, but I can't give you the Meg and then nobody else. All right, so... Oh, I got you. Okay, so... we might have a little bit of clashing with colors, but we'll let it go. We'll see. We'll see if that's how we're going to do it. Or if we're black and white it or whatever. If you like the effect of the black and white, just let me know. So now let me go ahead and I'll leave the shoes on there just in case you want to use that for showing off your colorways. So now we're going to go ahead and change our color swatches. Color 3. Let's make it the maroon color, and it's kind of weird because I have this more pinkish maroon. I'm going to color change that, and I'm going to tell you why in just a moment. But let me grab that more red maroon color, and then for this image, we're going to do a layer, new adjustment layer, and we're going to do hue saturation, and we are going to clip it to the photo. And we'll go over here to our, it's probably red, actually it's probably magenta. And I guessed that, but if I didn't know and I was just on the master level, I can choose this finger here. I can hover over and touch something, and it's definitely telling me that's magenta. So that's the way, if you don't know by eye which color it is, because magenta and red seems like the same thing, but it's not. It distinguishes with the hue saturation. So I have magenta selected, and I'm just going to pull this color to bring it a little closer to the red side. And then I can also make it darker. So I'm pulling the lightness down towards the black. I can bring the saturation up if I wanted to make it really bright. And these are just some things that you'll learn to start working with. I just want to get away from that purple. It was just a little too purple for me. And it's still maroon. And if I want to see what my changes were, I can turn off the eyeball, turn it back on, and that looks more like what I would expect it to look like. Now, you know we don't do these hard lines, so let's go ahead and put on a layer mask there. Grab that paintbrush, and I'm going to swipe down here. And let's make this paintbrush a little bit bigger. That way I get less drastic fade off. I don't like when I can tell that I faded it off. I like it to look unsuspecting. All right, and then the football image, we have his feet in there. That's great because usually you end up with like something cutting off down there. So that's perfect. And let's turn on our guide. So I'm getting a little crazy. You can see how I have all my pictures up high. That's a no-no. We want to make sure that for the most part, the faces stay in this box. So just in case something gets cut off, this is your safe area. And knowing the kids, if this was up to him, he might like it to say Savage on there. But I'm sure this is for the supporters, so we want to make sure that that it says something that's appropriate to commemorate the occasion. All right, now I see this hard line here on the bottom of this photo. That's a no-go. So let's add a layer mask, grab this paintbrush, fade that off. I'm good on that one. And then for the south image, same thing, layer mask, fade that off. And I'm good on that one. Now, I like how the hat is in front of the football photo here, but I want the football photo to be in front of the shoulder of the graduate here to kind of, I don't know, look like it's kind of intertwined. So I can select the football player, or at least do the marching ants around it by holding down Control, selecting that thumbnail. Now I have the football player selected. I can go to the layer mask of my graduation photo, grab my paintbrush on my layer mask layer, not the photo, and if I paint black there, guess what? It conceals that area. So when I go select, deselect, now the football player leg is in the front, but his shoulder is behind the cap. Little bit of advanced technique tonight, but not too much to scare you away, I hope. Okay, so my composition, I'm liking it. Let's go ahead and change the colors of the background, and then we can decide whether we're going to want to keep the image colors here and how we want to do with our text. So let's take the word Savage, and I'm going to Alt click and drag it, because what I'm doing is I'm creating an alternate version of that. So I just duplicated it. Now I can turn off the acting stupid, what's happening. I can turn off the lyric text because we don't need that at all. And then I want to make sure let's go ahead and turn off the main Savage layer also. All right, so now let's get into our colors. So we got our maroon selected. Next color would be the gold. So in this case, we just have maroon, gold, and probably more like black and white. So let's go ahead and change the effects here. Now, if I choose the gold from his helmet, I don't think it's going to be the same gold we were working with before. It's a little more metallic looking. And this is the same school, right? The school with the eagle. Because if so, I can bring the image in. We'll go with the metallic gold. Okay. So let's see, even with the metallic gold, if it's what we want, or if we want more of that yellow gold. You let me know, the athletic gold or this metallic looking gold. Now we don't need color number 2 right now, so I'm going to turn it off, and we're just going to go with color 1 and 3. So everywhere that I saw pink, or I see pink, I'm going to copy the layer style for the maroon, and I'm going to go looking for that pink. There it is. I'm going to duplicate the layer. So you keep the sunset color if you want to. So pink. We'll click on it, go to the color, and we can just tap on our swatch there, and it automatically turned it to the maroon. We'll say OK. And our orange color will do the same. And see how the metallic gold look kind of reminds you a little more of like maybe the FSU colors versus who is it that still uses old gold with the burgundy? Is it? No, 49ers even use the metallic gold now. But I think they do use some of the old gold as well. Anyhow, let me know if you'd rather go with the old gold or the metallic gold. So right now we're working with the metallic gold. All right, so we also have these paint splatters. So we're going to look for the word paint splatter, or you can right click on your artboard and you'll see paint splatter, and it'll automatically select that for you. We have color 1, color 2, and color 3. Now remember I told you I didn't pick a color 2. So here color 2 is pink. Let's just double click on it and see what we have. So color 1, if I can double click on the effects, go to color overlay, I almost have that same color yellow. I'm going to change it to our gold and say OK. Double click on color 2 effects, go to our color overlay, and let's try something different. Not white. Maybe a little bit deeper version, since we have a choice here, because we didn't pick a color 2. And then for color 3, we did pick a color 3, and that's going to be that one. And that's almost it. We can go to our Savage word now, double click on the effects there. And we probably won't keep this font. Let's go to the gradient here, and we have the gradient we created earlier. I'm going to select that, and this should give you a good indication of whether we want to go with the old gold or the metallic gold. So I am going to select the 2 colors we have here, and delete that one out in the middle. And then I'm going to add this as a new. And then let's do another one where we change this to the gold, metallic gold. And then we'll add that one as a new. That way we can switch back and forth and you'll see with the gradients. So that's just the stroke. Let's go to the gradient overlay. And now we have these 2 saved. So you let me know if you like it better with the gold metallic look or the yellow gold. So that's old gold and more metallic gold. Well, you know what? We have it with the metallic gold, and I think the only colors that you really see are the metallic because of his helmet. So you'll have an option. For instance, the last image used the old gold, right? And then this image uses the metallic gold. So for one school, you'll have 2 different representations. And then if they really want the old gold, all you have to do is just what we did before and change out those colors to the to that yellowish gold. And you can even keep the maroon there. That way you have something a little bit different to offer. And right now, I don't know if y'all can see what I'm doing. I'm adding a little bit of bevel and embossing here. So I'm increasing that depth there just so it looks a little 3D. And let's change the words here. Do we want to put like congrats grad or anything else? Oh, y'all like this goal too? But they're giving you good feedback, Vaughn. They're saying they like this goal. What do you want to say? What do you want to say? Congratulations. Or do we just want to stick with how we had it before? First name, last name, class of 2020. That's classic. You can't go wrong with that. As a matter of fact, do I have the name that I can copy and paste? Is the name... Okay, proud mother on it. Okay, awesome. Is the name... Oh, I missed and unmuted my little self. I was scared when that loud behind country voice came up. All right, my bad, y'all. I was a little shook. All right, so let's change savage to mom. Moms can be savage too. You know, mom started savage. Believe it or not. All right, but we're not going to keep it in this font. All right, so let's find us a better font. And then maybe we'll do proud in a different... We can go with something athletic. Let me do that. Y'all like to use these athletic fonts. I personally am tired of them, but people love them. I like to see more creative fonts, but you better go with what's tried and true and what you know somebody will say yes to, because as soon as somebody tries to make you go through your font list, yeah, it's just there's a whole nother game. And literally, you probably have at least 1,000 fonts on there. They want you to go through them one by one and just show me what this one look like. Well, what about this one? Just maybe show me 2 more. And by the end of it, you're going to wish you just had a few fonts that you just know tried and true and go from there. I'm going to duplicate this layer. And then I'm going to put the word proud. And then what we'll do for proud is maybe choose a different font, contrast something, maybe script. Master break is something I use common. Let me see if I have master comments on this one. What? I don't have master comments? I had to add all my fonts from my old computer on here because this is ridiculous. I mean, I have like 2,000 fonts, but on my other computer I have like 3,000 fonts. All right, so of course we're not going to let this, overlap his face or anything. I'm just trying to get an idea of the fonts. So let's do proud mom and then his name. I'm gonna, Vaughn, what's his last name? Or do we want to put that on there? And what I've been doing is kind of using more like handwritten fonts for the first name, especially for the athletes, because it kind of gives them a feel like, they're going to the pros and signing. What's one that I've used lately? Pink script. There we go. I like pink script. And then this is the way you get to see my process of how I pick fonts and pull things together. McKnight. And I am copying and pasting right from the chat window so I make sure I don't misspell anything. And I don't know if it's supposed to be capital K with McKnight or lowercase k. I think it probably is capital K. Now, I'm not printing anything that's low on the shirt because more than likely it will get cut off for the smaller shirts. I'm just doing my best to kind of figure out how we're going to lay this out. So let's go ahead and turn off these swatches now. And let's figure out, now what I'm going to do, instead of grayscale in the background images, let's go to the two background images. We'll group them. And we are going to gray them out. So we'll do layer, new adjustment layer, and let's do black and white like we did before. Then we will clip it to that group. So we'll right click and create a clipping mask. And let's do something interesting as far as the color here. So let's do a layer, new adjustment layer, or new fill layer. We're going to do a solid color. And I should have kept my swatches up, but let's choose the maroon color. And then we're going to right click and create a clipping mask for that too. So it only goes to area there. And see, I just taught y'all how to make a silhouette. Okay, so well, I'm trying to keep you from having to do two designs. That's up to you if you want to do two different designs, because technically, yeah, I'd rather keep it one design. It makes it simpler to send to the printer because then I don't have to change it up. But we'll see. If you really want to switch them out, then we can. Let's play with the blend mode here. Alright, my mouth always gets a little dry when I talk to y'all for too long. I'm getting a little sip of my drink. It is just water. So this is what I'm saying. Sometimes in the background, if you want to change the images up, you can make them kind of have the black and white effect, but use color and apply the color. So I'm sure both mom and grandma probably, and I'm just covering up his accolades here, just because of the football picture. Isn't that how we do sometimes? We kind of give all the glory to the sports. And I don't know what that award is there, but I'm sure it's important. I'm sure he's proud of it. So let me move this around a little bit so we get that. All right, so let me know what you think about this so far. And for this photo, it looks like I faded off a little bit of the shoe there. So I'm going to bring it back with white. So we did black to conceal. Let's do white to reveal. You change the size there. Oops, I'm still on black. Bring the white to the forefront. That way I can bring the shoe back. Here we go. Yeah, Mr. Get Hooked. That's kind of my point. Sometimes I'm a real stickler for if something's supposed to be a certain colorway, like I'm all about that colorway. So like in the last one, the blue was kind of standing out, the blue clothing. And this one, the that different color red and blue was kind of causing your eyes to not see the focal images. So this is just how I design in my process. Different designers have different things that they do. I sometimes even like if it was a orange suit someone had on and I'm doing blue and red design, then I will make the suit be blue or red in order to fit my design taste. And most time people are okay with that. It's extra work, but they're okay with it. So I always like to check just in case. But yeah, I think we're coming together. So we're gonna have one that says proud mom and one that says proud grandma, or so I'm gonna take proud, make it a little smaller. Same thing for mom. Because I want to make sure that we're not covering up his face or anything. You'll notice in Photoshop too, you see how that little magenta line just popped up in the center there? It was letting me know that I hit the center of my artboard and of my graphics. So I'm going to let that stay there. So we have proud mom, and then now we can take the name. And I have them as two separate pieces of text. So just in case I wanted to make one bigger than the other, I could. I'm trying to think of how I want this to go. I think I'll put it down here. I'm getting real dangerously outside of here, but as long as it's this extension of the text and not the actual lettering, I'm going to be okay. And then what I'll do is I'll go ahead and take all my photos. One, hold down shift so I can grab more than one, two, I'll grab 3 and 4. And I'm going to go ahead and shift all of these up. So I'm just using my arrow keys, or I thought I was. Oh, I wasn't doing shift and selecting anything. So I was holding down shift, trying to select my multiple photos. Here we go. Now they're moving all as one. And I'm just doing a little bit of shifting. Shifting the text around just to make sure. You can always stack things right on top, but you don't have to, because I think I may bring the logo in there. Not sure. Because I usually will, on a design like this, give you some idea of where you should put a logo. Alright, so that means I need to open up the old design and grab the logo off of it. Oh, I left it open. How unsafe of me. Because that could have been what crashed the computer and lost my life, but so far so good. So let me stop talking junk about my little computer. Let's grab this logo. We'll Alt, drag it over to the new image. Alright, and it has this yellow color. So I'll show you, we'll double click. I'm going to go into, where's our color swatch? No, I turned them off. And I'll select color 1. I'm going to double click on the effects. And I'm going to go to my color overlay, go to my swatch. I'm going to copy this code right here. It's called a hex code. So I'm going to copy that hex code so that I can tell this logo to select all that yellow. And remember, I took it off of contiguous. So if you have contiguous selected, it's only going to select the yellow that's touching. But if you have contiguous deselected, it'll select yellow everywhere. I'm going to do a new layer because I don't like painting over my artwork until I know for sure that's what I want. Grab my paint bucket, fill it with any color. I fill it with black. Do a deselect. Well, okay, sir. Here we go. And now I'm going to do a color overlay. So let's go to our effects, color overlay. That gold is still there. And now I can preview it. I'm going to say yes, and it will update. Yes, and it will update. And voila, here we are with the new gold. So we have the old gold and the new gold. So that's what we'll do. We'll call them old and new. And I want to select the logo here. Let's Control T, change the size a little bit. And I'm losing a little bit of my, I don't know if I want the foot or not, but I know that I need to stay within this primary area. So I'll probably just end up reducing my logo a little bit. Then this way, we can kind of offset mom. The logo kind of balances it out on the left-hand side. Excuse me, guys. And we have a little compilation. Let me know what you think. Any changes, suggestions, questions? What do we think? And we just took a savage design and turned it into a classy senior design. Awesome, awesome. Vaughn says it looks great. Okay, so I'm going to save this one. Yep, I already saved it as my save as version. And like I said, now, Vaughn, you have two different versions. You can show them, hey, this is with the old gold and this is with the new gold. And see, quickly, those look like two totally different schools. You wanted these designs to look totally different, right? Because they're for different kids in the same school. And now you have that. You have two totally different looking designs. All right, so let's see. What's the name of the Proud font? The Proud font is Adriana Type. And I don't know if you can see it, but if I can, 1, 2, 3, Control A lets me select all. I'll copy it and I have pasted it into the chat. Adriana Type. Any other questions, loves? You're very welcome. All right, well, while I'm waiting on any other questions, y'all make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff that YouTubers are supposed to say that I always forget to say. Make sure you do all that. Join the Innate Creatives private Facebook group so that you can ask questions, put your screenshots there. If you have issues with any of the templates, anything like that, put those issues on the page. I know for you all, for our private group, I don't mind if you're sharing issues that you're having, or if you show a video of, hey, I'm trying to get this to work, it's not working. Do that in the Innate Creatives group. That's our place, our safe place to work on these templates together, and basically for me to be able to assist you with using them better. You're so very welcome, Vaughn. Thank you. I appreciate your support, definitely, and I appreciate you for being patient with me and all, with everything that's been going on with the website and all. I'm telling y'all are a blessing. I appreciate it. It's a few of them, few bad apples that, you know, make me a little upset in the bunch. But for the most part, I would have to say this has been a truly supportive environment. You all are helping me grow. I'm hoping to help your businesses grow, and I hope we can continue this relationship. So we in this together. All right, love. So anything, do I do one-on-ones? Yes. I do one-on-ones. You can sign up for it if you go to the Innate Lab website, go to the design and services. I can do design like this for you. This isn't necessarily one-on-one. One-on-one, you're driving the boat. So most times, and we can do it live as well. And usually when you do it live, I give you a free template to play with. So that's the perk of doing it live. If you don't want to do it live, then I completely understand, and we can do it private. It's totally up to you. But check out some of my live sessions. You'll see them on the YouTube channel. I'm very patient. Most of the people here can learn from a newbie doing the things that I'm telling them to do, because it's easy to watch me do it and say, oh, yeah, I remember. And then when you get to it, it's hard. But sometimes watching someone at this coming in at the same level that you are, they ask the appropriate questions, they get confused on the same things, and that way it helps you to learn through seeing other people's mistakes. And even when I make mistakes on here, y'all are learning from me. No, you can't see the brush that was used, because basically once you use the brush, it's like a stamp. However, once I've stamped a brush in a template, you have it from then on out as a design element. So unfortunately, you just have to kind of go through the brushes and see what works for you. And normally I'm just randomizing it. I don't have like specific brushes picked out in my head. I'll just go through and I'll pick a few variants like we did today, 5 brushes, and play with them, layer them, and try to make it look like something. All right, so yeah, y'all definitely come see me. I will be doing a course soon too. Like I said a few videos ago, it will be a selective group. It'll be my test group, and it'll be a monthly fee. So for that entire month, we'll go through every week. We'll meet either once or twice a week and actually go through exercises together. And everyone will have to have their own version of Photoshop. We'll have templates that we'll work with first, and then as you all are trying to understand things that you need to pull into your templates, we'll work on those things first. And then if you need to know advanced techniques like we did replacing people's hair and that sort of thing, we'll learn that along the way as well. So the idea is to get you fully functioning in these templates first. I know it sounds backwards because everybody wants to know what every little tool in Photoshop does. Does it really matter? How many tools did we use in this tutorial today? Like the same 5 tools, okay? So I want you to understand that that class will be more on teaching you how to get the full value out of these templates, because when I tell you I wish something like this would have existed or did exist today, nothing like this exists that I could even find today. Not to toot my own horn, but beep beep. So I'm giving you all like these jewels, and that's why like there's a lot of responsibility, a lot of work, and it's a lot of trust, because most artists will not trust you with this level of their artwork. So I'm making this available to you so that no matter if you're in, like I was in small town Mariana and I could produce graphics at this level, nobody else was touching me on the graphics. So you'll have that same experience. And all you have to do, I'm going to have a non-branded version of the website where you can take people to and say, hey, or you can take them to the NA Lab, take them to the NA Lab website, let them know that design costs some money. Say, okay, well, I can get you this template, but it's going to be $30. She put it, it's on there for $20. She's going to charge me an extra so-and-so to design them. That way you even if you're the one designing it, you let people know that somebody has to be paid for this artwork, numero uno, and it's not you. So that way you take yourself out of the equation and you stop discounting your art services like I mostly do. Okay? So I definitely want you to I'm trying to drop jewels that aren't just about art. It's really about taking your business to the next level. And this is a business. I don't care if you're doing it as a hobby. My dad always told me that if something is a hobby, it will stay a hobby. If you treat it as a hobby, it will stay a hobby. If you want to do what you love for life and it's your passion, then you'll take it out of the hobby zone. You'll take it off of the hobby shelf, and you'll treat it just like you do your child. Your child isn't a hobby. It isn't something you just pick up and drop off when you want or don't want it. That's just what your passion is. It is a child of yours. You have to care for it, cater to it, be disciplined with it sometimes, and carry out those duties that sometimes we just don't want to do. So that was enough of me preaching to y'all for tonight. I don't know where that came from. But yeah, I'm just trying to instill in y'all that I really believe in you. I know you can do this stuff. I'm proud of Vaughn. She came in with a design that she's already worked on that template at least 2 times. I saw the templates that or the same template. Let me pull it back up so I can show off for Vaughn. Hold on. Let's pull these back up. So at least twice, Vaughn did this one and this one. So y'all give it up for Vaughn. She did that, y'all. I didn't do that. She did that. Okay. So I am just here as a resource and a sounding board to see what it is that you need to see, what you need to hear in order to get to this next level, because I'm ready to see it. Okay. All right, loves. Well, I done tied y'all up for a couple of hours. Vaughn probably on here about to go to sleep, and she's got her designs done now. I'm sure she's waiting on her files. And y'all stay tuned. We got some great stuff in store. So we'll get to it one project at a time. Fine, you're not sleepy? All right, I'm going to go ahead and save and get everything ready for us to shut down for tonight. Y'all have any other questions for me? Oh, okay. Biggest problem, Kathy says she's new to the group in Photoshop, and the biggest problem is understanding layers and how to move them, where they go in the changing colors. Oh, she said it was great. Okay, great. So yeah, we do some layers up in here. We keep some layers going. But they're also, and I need to do them again, the KISS, the Keep It Simple Sublimator. We need to do some more KISS templates because they aren't really templates. What they are is, I tell you they're templates to get you hyped up about them, but usually it's a foreground, a background, some text, and some sort of accent somewhere, whether it be a logo or some lightning or paint splash, that's your accent. Your background could be a solid color or a gradient, a stadium photo. Your foreground is usually your photo. Sometimes your foreground is your text. Sometimes you're not doing photo designs, you're doing just text. And of course, your text, you play with typography and you use different fonts. So that's it. That's keeping it simple, sublimators. All right. My dad used to tell me that all the time. KISS, keep it simple, Shannon. I think he learned that in the Army, and they would say keep it simple, stupid. But I got the pretty version of it. Okay. So keep it simple, sublimators. And when it's not simple, you'll always have my templates. Okay. As long as nobody pisses me off too far to where I just take them off the face of the planet because I'm tired of people stealing my stuff. All right, so as long as y'all keep helping me track them down, we in this together. All right, loves, I think that's it for tonight. I don't see any more questions. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. If there's anything else you need, make sure you're in the NA Creatives group and post your questions there, because y'all, I'll be trying to check all these different inboxes, and I don't usually have my phone on. I don't answer the phone. I don't check text messages. I rarely check emails, but at least I have Erica, who is my blessing, who helps me in the NA Creatives group, and she's very organized and disciplined and gets back to people a lot quicker than I do. All right. And thank you, Erica. I appreciate you, love. Yes, that's New Blinger Slinging with E&J. Oh, make sure that you check out her channel too. She teaches folks how to do the bling shirts with the faux rhinestones and real rhinestones. So if you're interested in that process, definitely check her out. Uh-oh. Why are you telling me to check my email? Oh, you trying to get me while I'm on the live? You know, I might not check it after that. Hold on. Let's see. Check your email. Let me see. I got a new message. Okay. So what I'll do then, it says Carrie, we want to put valedictorian on it. Okay, got you. And Now for Proud Mom, so for Carrie, we're going to put Proud Mom and Proud Sister on it. And I need to send you these as proofs too, because I'm sure you want to proof them before we print them for you. I thought I was about to let y'all go. Let me go ahead and do this because I'd rather proof it with you here than not here. So let's do double click valedictorian, and let's see. We can do that. I just use the same pink script, but if any of these fonts need to be changed out, just let me know. Okay, so for Carrie's, do we want to put Proud Mom and Proud Sister on the design? Because if that's the case, let's go ahead and we can grab that right from the other file. And this is what I'm telling y'all, when y'all collect these files, like, use them. So I can grab Proud and Mom literally from this file and drag him over. Well, with my long title, I couldn't do it. So drag him over to my artboard. Bam, it's on a new artboard. Now, we might lose a little bit. I don't want to go over the Morehouse. And that's what I'm saying, how are we going to do this? And we want to make sure we put class of 2020 on there. So maybe if we did, so left chest is really the right chest. Maybe we could do Proud Mom as a left chest. Excuse me, y'all. I'm running into my cough limit. I'm getting, like, it's feeling a little too busy, but I don't want to cover up. What about the sleeves? So let's change this this gradient here. We'll change it to our yellow gold. Let's switch it up. So now we have that more vibrant red and the more yellow-ish gold. So I was thinking maybe put it on the sleeve somewhere. Sorry. What do you think about it on the sleeve? As I haven't placed it yet. Did that, or we have an option to kind of put it, I don't know what this, I guess the 67 is probably one of maybe the year of establishment, not sure. I didn't want to cover that up, but if we have to, it's just what we have to do. If mom wants Proud Mom on there, then we have to make mom happy. She's the one paying for the order. And then let's bring this logo size down just a little bit. All right, Vaughn, let me know what you think about this so far. And then we can take mom and let's duplicate that layer, and let's do, you can do sis or sister. And we're covering up that border house a little bit, so let's Control T to transform sister, and let's squish it in a little bit. All right, so we got everything that they want on there. We're good to go. We got the colors and all. So what I'm going to do, Vaughn, is, of course, I'm going to have you proof this. Now, if you're proofing it yourself and you say it's good to go, I'll print it. But I want to give you something that you can proof to the customer. Usually it's a low resolution version of it, of the all over shirt. And then once you get that, go ahead, we can print it for you. We're going to print, press, and we can even drop ship it for you if you want us to, because these shirts aren't going to the same place. So we'll send them to you, then that way you can give one set of shirts to one family, one to the other. Unless if you want us to ship them, we can. But I'm sure you want to see their reactions on their faces. You want them to hold this in their hands and know that you created it and have that customer experience. So that's why I want you to proof the customers. And here's another thing, Vaughn, or anyone that's here. If y'all ever need me to do this type of thing where I'm doing the live design and it's your customer, just let me know, and I won't mention the like some of the things that we do for ourselves, because this session is a lot different than what I would do for a typical customer. Typical customer, I'm not asking them anything. I'm not asking about fonts, none of that. You hear me? And that should be your rule of thumb too. Don't ask them, what about this? What do you think about this? Don't ask them that. Just go ahead, design it in front of them, do what they asked you to do, put the colors in there, put the text in there, put the photos in there, and then if they don't like something, let them identify what they don't like. Okay? But if you need me to do that, it's pretty much the same process. Just give me a heads up, and it won't be more of a teaching session, and y'all will know because I won't be going into detail on the teaching side. I will just be showing you how I straight up change a design, usually in 10 minutes. Okay? And I'm offering that to you all for your customers. So you can say, hey, Shannon is my artist. She's already paid, she's already been paid for the design, or you paid her for the design. You can go on live and she will design your shirt for you, and basically you can proof it live. Okay? So I'm trying that out. We're going to see how that works. I think that'll be a good business model for in the future, so that you can charge people for art. And then that way you can also have some really great looking examples in your, your business portfolio. Okay? So make sure you charge them. And I'm not going to tell them what I charge. So that is up to you and them if you want to charge them more. And I would, because you're facilitating it. So if you want to charge them more than what I charge for art fees, that's your business. And I will never tell them that. Okay? All right. So Vaughn, before I let you go, let me make sure I know this. So Proud Sister, bam. Proud Mom, bam. And then the other two, the other design, Was this one? So that one, are we doing? Oh, that's my original. I was like, no! I lost all my changes. Yeah, I was about to hear my voice change. Okay. So this is the one we were working on. And that's why it's important to do save as if you are going to drastically change something. So this is this is mom's. Were we doing another one for grandma? And I don't know if it should be grandma, nana. Control T, let's squish that in. Grandma, gotcha. All right, so grandma, and let me show you while I have you here. Let me show you how, if you're editing this, because you're going to get this PDF file, you need to save a proof. Go to File, Export. I usually go to Save for Web, and we're going to go through these proofs right now. You don't have to do any more than 600 in the largest direction. It makes it, excuse me, it makes it large enough for them to be able to proof the letters and everything, but small enough to where nobody can take your screenshot and go print it on a shirt somewhere, okay? So, where are my clients? So that's one, and then I'm going to send another proof with mom on there. File, export, save for web. Now this is a part of the process that I'm teaching y'all. I'm telling you about that. The typical customer doesn't care about this part of stuff. But if I know it's one of you that's watching, I'm definitely going to make sure I give you some extra pointers. Let me just put mama in. Okay, so we're done with this one. So we have the 2 from this one. We have this one's got 2 as well, or has 2 as well. Let's turn off the guides. File, export, save for web. Make sure that my width is 600. The most I've ever done is, I think I've done like 900, just to kind of give them a little bit better resolution. And then the other thing is, tell them, hey, feel free to share this proof on your Facebook. As soon as they share that proof, you're going to be getting more orders, guarantee you. All right. That's mom. And we need one more for sister. Export, save for web. Let's do 600 pixels, save. All right, so we should have 4 proofs, and we did one more thing tonight. Did one more design. Make sure I save that. This one. Export, save for web. Let's do 600 as the pixel width. Save. And all of your proofs are ready to go, Vaughn. And once, I won't send you the PSD files until I've had the complete proof done, then that way I'm not sending you big files for nothing. Because if there are changes to be done, I'm going to make the changes before I send you the file. So I will send these proofs over to you ASAP Rocky, and you can let me know if they're good to print. And make sure you let me know which size for which one. So I will help you make sure we get that right, okay? All right, so looks like it's good night for real this time, y'all. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Y'all still hanging out with me on a weeknight. I know times are trying and we're all tired, but thank y'all for pushing, and thank y'all for pushing me, because this is helping me get a lot done in these times. All right, loves, that's it. I am out for tonight, and I will catch y'all later, probably tomorrow. Love you for real. Bye.